Hey everyone, I just want to start this out by saying that I will be using the Chao World Extended mod, and I'm showing some of my configurations on screen so you can follow along with me if you want, but I don't really know much about this mod, so I think having it installed will add a little bit of spice to this project that it wouldn't have before, so thank you, and let's get right on with it. Do you want to raise Chao? And if so, you've come to the right place for my handy-dandy tutorial on all things Chao raising, and let's get right into it, starting with how to get into the garden. First off, the way to get into the Chao Garden with any character is to go into any of their individual levels. Here I'm showing Shadow, and gather the Chao key. From there, all you need to do is to complete the level, and then there you go, you'll be transported directly to the garden. Congratulations! Now that you're in the garden, you can hatch your Chao. So, there are three main ways to do this. The first one, which is just wait, which I'm not going to show you because that would take too long. And the second method is to be the biggest jerk to your Chao before they're even born, is to throw the egg against the wall. And then the final option, which is the only real option, is to shake the egg. Trust me, they will not receive sits. Once you pick up your Chao, you'll realize that they have 5 main stats: swim, fly, run, power, and stamina. So, we're going to go over some of the ways to increase these stats. The first one is chaos drives, which are gotten by killing any of the normal gun robots that you see throughout any of the levels. These are the most common enemy you'll see, and you'll be getting a lot of chaos drives, but they're also the least effective way to level up a Chao. The second option is with the use of animals. So these are a bit trickier to gather, because one of the main ways to get them is to destroy multiple Chao key boxes. Because the first box lands you a key, the second box lands you a set of animals specific from that level, and the third box grants you the rare animal from that level. So, you can use a website that I'll be linking in the description that has very detailed instructions on where all these animals are and which are the best ones for what you're looking for, so make sure to use that resource like I do. So, there are 3 alignments you can choose for your Chao. You can either A, be a hero, like Gandhi, B, be a dark, like our favorite mustache model, or C, be Switzerland. Hero Chao are gotten by taking care of them a lot with hero characters like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Meanwhile, Dark Chao are taken care of by Shadow, Rouge, and Eggman. And Neutral Chao are taken care of equally by both, or by neither if you're a monster. Now we can talk about the Chao Kindergarten. First up, we have the Chao Classroom. Here, your Chao can learn whatever lesson is currently being taught this day. Next, we have the Principal. So what the principal does is he essentially gives you useful tips on how to raise your Chao. So thankfully, because we have much better tools online, this guy's kind of useless, but if you just need a quick refresher on something, he could be a good guy to talk to. Next, we have the Chao Health Center. So this place is very important because it allows you to see a Chao's medical chart, which gives you the ranking ability of all of its stats. So personally, what I like to do is for this Chao, you notice that he had an A rank in power, so I would probably go and evolve him into a power Chao to get that up to an S rank. He also gives some other information like personality, the Chao's favorite fruit, and can just give you a fun little tidbit about their personality. The fortune telling house is not at all what it sounds like. This is actually where you go to name your Chao. So what she'll do is she'll give you some name, it'll probably be stupid, and then once you tell her no, she'll ask you if you want a different name, and you'll say no, and then she'll finally let you name your own Chao for yourself. That's all you really do here. Finally, we have the Black Market. So because I have the mod Chao World Extended installed, I can see everything in tabs. So the first tab is for eggs, second tab is for fruit, third tab is for seeds, fourth tab is for just kind of headwear. Then there's a couple other tabs with anything else. Next, while you're raising your Chao, you might notice that they're starting to gain some attributes of the evolution that they are heading towards. This is a good indication of what direction they're heading, so you can easily tell that if something is going wrong, and then you can be able to fix it by giving them more animals of a certain type to make sure they go to the evolution that you want them to go to. Now I'm going to show off all the Chao that I'm currently raising. First we have Jeremy, who's going to be a power Chao, dark type. Next we have Rocky, who is going to be a neutral swim type. Now we have Wingy, the neutral fly type, and Sky, the neutral run type. And finally we have Logan, the hero swim type. Insert several hours of standing still in the Chao Garden. Phew! Now that that's over, we can see these evolutions. So first off, we're going to see the evolution of Jeremy. So I'm playing these in like 3 times speed or whatever because they are a little bit long. But I will say one kind of interesting thing you can do is you can view inside of the pod to see if they're evolving into the right Chao. So the way you can take advantage of this is as soon as you see the egg form, you can leave the garden, save, come back in, and then if when you go back in the garden, they'll start evolving again, and then you can look inside of their little cocoon right there, and if it's not the Chao you want, what you can do is you can just like close the game without saving, and then go back into the garden and do whatever you need to do to make the Chao evolve into what you want it to. So, we just saw Rocky's evolution into a neutral swim type. Not a big fan of many of the neutral types, like first stage evolution, because their second stage just looks so much better. And funny story about Wingy, actually, is I originally was planning to make him my hero Chao, which is why I evolved him now. But at the very end, I decided against it because I was making him a flying type, and the neutral flying type just looks so much better. Okay, so now we have Sky, who really isn't going to change very much. The quills are just going to get a little bit longer and more pronounced. But the thing that's special about him is because he has very good natural stats, is I'm going to be using him to do all of the races. Because, and this is very important, there are hero and dark races that if you're a hero Chao, you cannot compete in one of them, and vice versa with a dark Chao. But neutral Chaos are allowed to compete in both of them. So we're going to take full advantage of that to make sure that we can complete this with only having to raise 1 Chao to all level 99. And then finally, we are evolving Logan into a Hero Fly Chao, just so we can access the Hero Garden. So those are the 5 Chao that I'm doing now, and you'll be able to see a little bit more of their development in the future as I raise them in a more calm fashion after we do the races. So another thing that I want to add is I will here on out be using the Hero Garden because, in my opinion, it's just much prettier. And like I said before, I'm going to be leveling up Sky to all of his stats being 99 except for stamina because that's impossible. But I hear you wondering, but Shadow, that's impossible! How are you going to farm that many animals? Well, luckily, I'm cheating. But also, for you at home, there's an easy trick that you can use to do it, and it goes as follows. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to distract your Chao with something like a fruit, and then you're going to position yourself about how I do, where when you place down the animal, it is just enough in front of them that it goes into their hitbox, but you don't actually hand it to them. And if you do it correctly, you can still pick up the animal and be able to give it back to them. Now, the reason I would wait to do this, and the reason I always use the Hero Garden, is because normally when I'm not cheating, there's a special log that I'll show you right now that you can put the Chao inside of, and they will not be able to escape it, so then you can do this trick more easily without having to worry about them run around. So, next episode we'll have our roided out Sky, and we'll be able to finish getting all of the emblems in this game. So, see you then. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can come on this modded Chao adventure with me.